Welcome to Friday, TGIF. It's April 4th, 2025. Your day weather podcast brought to you by ConverseCountyTourism.com. Feel the energy of Converse County. Explore Douglas's railroad heritage, Ayers Natural Bridge, and the Jackalope legend. Glen Rock boasts scenic trails, dinosaur history, and small town charm. Plan your visit at ConverseCountyTourism.com. Well, the cold is going to linger for a bit longer here. Warmer weather's coming. We will revert from the wintry weather pattern to more of a spring one, but we've kind of got to get through the weekend as this broad, slow-moving area of low pressure will continue to keep things unsettled with rain and snow chances in the region through Saturday. A lot of you will see the last of the rain and snow shower activity today, but for the southern areas, New Mexico, southern Colorado, into West Texas, Kansas, you're going to have the rain and snow continue into the weekend there as the southern part of the trough rolls through. Now we're back to what we call dirty high pressure and warmer temperatures next week. Now you're going to say, well, what is dirty high pressure? I'll explain that here in a moment. But it's high pressure, so a warmer, more spring-like weather pattern is going to return as we get into next week. However, because it's a dirty high pressure ridge, still there's going to be some possible chances of some scattered showers and even thunderstorms in portions of the northern and central Rockies next week. The next larger shift back to cooler, unsettled weather and better precipitation chances will come sometime next weekend, but a lot of variability in the computer modeling once we get past 6 days. So let's say the pattern for next weekend is something that we still have to determine. Taking a look at some photos from yesterday, shower activity developed late yesterday afternoon and evening, and then overnight in some areas. It was rain, it was snow, it was some thunder. There you can see some showers there in western Nebraska. The dark skies up in northern Wyoming with this next impending trough coming on through. Beautiful scene there along the North Platte River near Glen Rock with the frosted trees and, well, the calm waters, at least for that moment. Now, when we take a look at the surface map for the USA today, looks a lot like yesterday. We've got the severe weather and the very heavy rain focused in this area here, and this is going to continue well into the weekend where a lot of flooding and severe weather will be taking place. Here's the next cold front sweeping through the region, and there is going to be some weather coming in behind it. When we look at the satellite imagery here in a moment, you can really see that. These are the advisories. We've got flood watches, flood warnings. These are flash flood warnings for a large swath of the nation's midsection. This is winter weather advisories. Winter storm watches in effect for northeast New Mexico. Weather advisories for winter conditions into the Texas Panhandle. Then up along the cold front, some winter weather advisories for the northern areas. You can see the bright clouds from the cluster of showers and thunderstorms that are going through the same area. And there's going to be the reformation of these showers and thunderstorms today, tomorrow, and Sunday in the same area, hence the flooding concerns. The next trough coming in up from the northern areas, dragging a cold front through here, is what will be producing scattered rain and snow showers across the central and northern Rockies today. It's kind of easier to see in the water vapor loop where we've got the low down here near the Four Corners area, then the low up here, and you can see the moisture flow is just coming on in and getting directed towards there. Since we have a split low pattern, we're not able to bring back this moisture here westward into the high plains if these two had gotten their act together. So that's why the channeling, the focusing of the deeper moisture and the heavy rain and the flooding in the central United States is occurring there. And you can really see that at the 500 millibar pattern. You might say, well, I don't see a low pressure system here. I don't see what the deal is. Why is there such heavy rain? Well, if you just watch the big pattern, the big picture, so to speak, the clockwise circulation around the high is drawing up deep moisture from the lower latitudes, and the counterclockwise rotation around the low they're working in unison. So basically, we have an atmospheric river of very moist air getting channeled in from the lower latitudes where the air is a lot warmer and a lot more moist and focusing it into this area. At the same time, the air aloft is getting colder as this trough slowly approaches. So colder air aloft, warmth on the bottom, warmth near the surface with deep moisture is going to lead to that shower and thunderstorm pattern. And when you look, this is where we are today, this is where we are tomorrow. So there really isn't a lot of a change in this particular part of the country. Now notice up here, we have this kind of this sharp part of this trough here. That's where the cold frontal boundary is, and that cold front sweeps through. And that's what will be producing some shower activity today and into early tomorrow in this area here. When we take a look at the lower 48, this is through Sunday. This is only through Sunday. So you can see the very heavy rainfall here, the heavier precipitation back into New Mexico and West Texas, and then the spotty shower activity that's on behind this system coming up from the north. This area of heavier precipitation occurred last night and right now early this morning across parts of Nebraska and South Dakota. So if you take a zoomed in approach, this is for the same time period, just zoomed in. You can see lighter amounts in the northern areas, heavier amounts down into the south. When we take a look at the snowfall forecast, still plenty cold enough for snow, even all the way down into places like Roswell, down to near Alamogordo and along the mountains there in central and southern New Mexico, all the way down into West Texas, it could snow. So getting pretty deep with that cold air pretty far south, and there you can see the temperature anomalies over the next 5 days. So it's going to remain very chilly, in particular today and tomorrow. But we warm up. By Monday, we get a high pressure ridge coming in. This trough is still stubborn to move very quickly to the east, but it does. But notice we have strong jet stream winds coming into the Pacific Northwest coast. And this is what I mean by a dirty ridge. The high pressure builds in, but there is going to be basically a forceful jet stream pushing against the high and wanting to beat it down a little bit. And that allows pieces of energy and instability and moisture to break off, come through the high pressure ridge. And there you can see that by Tuesday. See the high pressure ridge, the top of it gets knocked off. So it's not able to completely block these low pressure systems. It will allow, the door will be open to crack, so to speak, to allow Pacific energy and moisture through. And that's going to produce, as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity, but this is certainly going to be a warmer pattern. By Friday, the ridge kind of rebuilds itself. So the Thursday-Friday time frame is probably the warmest couple of days next week. But we have the next approaching trough coming in the Pacific Northwest. That'll be throwing mid and high level cloudiness into the region and some shower activity into the Pacific Northwest coast, into central and northern areas of California. Eventually, this trough will get pushed through the Intermountain West, and that will likely result in cooler temperatures and a chance for precipitation on a more widespread basis, probably sometime next weekend or shortly thereafter. So we'll be keeping an eye and talking about this system on Monday some more. Have yourself a great weekend. Stay warm. See you Monday.